welcome to the workshop, or it's not really a workshop, but it's a short, I give you an overview about the topic stress and burnout prevention. And then, of course, I give you an example how I worked with clients. But before that, I introduce myself a little bit more, especially for those who maybe joined later and did not hear or who I am. My name is Monika Koller Schinca. When I was 20 years old, I studied food engineer at the Higher Technical School in Zurich. And then I started working in a development lab for ice cream. There I realized that working with people, I preferred working with people instead of working with products. So that's why I started doing a coaching. I went to a coaching school and did my first coaching education. And then in 2010, I discovered logosynthesis. And I was really fascinated by the model. By that time, I had 3 small children. And nevertheless, I always organized myself to go away some days to do a next part of the logosynthesis education. And today I'm a logosynthesis master practitioner and a logosynthesis trainer. So I train and educate professionals, but also normal, ordinary people with self-coaching course. Can you please mute yourself if you're not muted? Thank you very much. So today we will talk a little bit about stress. Most probably all of you have already experienced stress in your life. I guess most of you will have experienced stress in one or another situation. And stress is actually not something bad, but it's a natural reaction of our body. And I show you my presentation. Now you should see stress and burnout prevention. Can you see that? Okay. So as I said, stress is natural. You can see on the picture that in certain situations, it's really helpful when our body in a stressful situation has all the energy ready to fight or flight, because it can be really important. But of course, nowadays in everyday life, we have fewer and fewer situations in the present in which stress is activated, real stress. Most of the time, stress arises from fictional situations in the future or from bad experiences in the past. So both stress is often caused by something fictional, pictures or fantasies in the future, or something that happened in the past, but not so much in the present as we see on the picture anymore. Why can stress be harmful? Actually, stress can be harmful on a long term. When the body response is fight or flight, then our stress hormones are activated. The body goes into a survival mode, and only vital functions like breathing, heartbeats, some others are still maintained. And there are certain functions that are not so immediately vital that are reduced, such as digestion. Our immune system is reduced, and detoxification, for example. So that means if you have stress over a longer time, then you can get maybe problems with your digestion, or you can get sick because your immune defense is reduced, or you can have trouble sleeping because your body is constantly alert. And there might be other physical discomfort you feel. I already said that. So what can we do against stress? Probably you all know the good advices against stress, such as take a break, take it easy, take some time for yourself, relax, meditate, or just breathe when you are in stress. Or maybe music therapy can help, dancing, singing, or playing an instrument. But of course, if you have a full day with lots of tasks, as we heard it in the example earlier, then it might not be such a good advice to have something on top of that, like I should meditate, or I should go to a sport class or do something else, because you don't really feel like you already have enough things to do. You don't want something on top of that. And in top of that, these good advices don't solve the problem at the root. They are just for a short term, they can help, but it's not on a long term. So we need something else. And this could perhaps be logosynthesis, because logosynthesis is really working well on when it comes to reactions, because stress is always a reaction of something that happens in your life. And that reaction is connected to your subconsciousness, to what you have memorized experiences, patterns, whatever you have experienced in your life can activate. We had as well, we have seen that in the example of Astrid. She went back in life, and then they found a memory about that teacher, and they worked on that. So in the present, her energy is flowing free, so she can take a new decision, and there can be a new reaction when the real problems are solved. Now I stop the screen share now. Now we have seen that stress is a reaction mostly not to reality, but to something that happens in our head. I give you an example from work I did with a client. My client had a very successful life until all of a sudden one thing after the other started to fail. He lost friendships, his own business ran badly, the cooperation in a board of an association became impossible because of a conflict. It seemed like a vicious circle. The client did not believe in himself anymore, and he was afraid his business could fail completely. So he was really sad and stressed because of that. Sometimes he shouted at his employees, and the atmosphere was sometimes very bad. And so even the customers could realize something was going on. To handle that amount of stress, he started to eat And because of that, he put on weight. So he had another problem on top of that. When he came to my office, we first started to work with present situations. So we looked at the most stressful present situations and we applied the sentences on that. So the stress amount in the present already went down. And when he could again run his daily life became more pleasant, then we went back in time and explored the past to see where all the stress came from. And then we found out that his parents never really accepted the way he was, because he was quite a wild and loud child. He was running around, and the parents preferred a child that was more calm and adapted. So he had always the impression, I'm not okay the way I am, and I'm not good enough. And even at school, his teacher had something against him. So he was always the one that was guilty. Whatever happened, he was always the one that was guilty and was punished. And so as well there we had different situations we worked with the sentences. And then more and more energy was free. He got more calm and could take other decisions in the present. He didn't have to react anymore because of his how can I say, his normal reaction he had before. But he had the choice to react like that or in another way, because his energy was free. So that was a very nice work. And then his business slowly, step by step, went up again. So this was really a nice experience for him and for me as well, of course. And then I have another, of course, this was a longer, we worked on a longer time together. This was not just once, but now I give you a shorter example as well. Another client, she was working as a coach as well, like me, but she experienced often in her sessions with the clients, she experienced stress. So we explored together why she experienced that stress. And she mentioned that for her, it was very important to do a good job, that she tried to do everything right. Of course, she wanted to help the person that came to her. And so she took over the responsibility for solving her clients' problems. And of course, this did not work like that. What you can do as a coach is you hold the space, you build up trust, and then create a safe place where change can happen. But you are actually never responsible for the change. So for her, it was that stress. And then we applied logosynthesis on the belief that she had to solve her clients' problems. And once that belief was gone, she could be there with her clients and just hold the space. And it was really more relaxed for her to work. In logosynthesis, we say we are lazy, stupid, and dumb, and we work like that. And I have to say, for me, it's very nice to work like that, because I can be there, I can hold the space, and it's not only nice because the logosynthesis works, but also the kind of work is very nice. So these were the examples I wanted to give you. And if you want to know more about logosynthesis, I have some upcoming workshops about stress, 2 webinars. One is on the 19th of January in the evening from 5 to 6. This is Central European time. And the other one is on 24th of January at noon from 12 to 13. The webinars will be in German, and the seminar as well. The seminar you can see will be an online basic, not a basic, but a self-coaching seminar in logosynthesis. With the knowledge of that, you will be able to solve many of your issues on your own. And then, of course, there will be some issues. You need someone that guides you, that gives you that space, that holds the space for you.